and welcome back to the You Were Made to Thrive podcast. Me and Christina are here today, and we are really excited about the topic that we are sharing about today, and it is about Disney vacations.
Yes.
So if you know us at all or been following us for a while, you know that we are both obsessed with Disney. I think it's safe to say.
Yes.
We both, I think, grew up loving and watching all of the movies and just the character, the culture, all of that. Walt Disney himself, we love all things. So we thought it would be fun to kind of share. We recently took a family vacation over Christmas to Disney World. And so we thought it would be fun to kind of share our favorite moments and memories and all of that from our trip. Hopefully many of you out there listening are planning your own Disney vacation, and hopefully these tips will help you, or at least, think of some great or find some great rides that you should try out when you're there.
Yeah. So we went in December over Christmas. This was my first trip to Disney World over Christmas. We've been before as a family, but the first time gone for the holidays. So that in itself was a huge deal for us to get to go this time of year. And it was the first trip I've taken to Disney with a group as large as ours. And we'll talk about that, I think, in a separate episode, just kind of the experience of traveling with that many people and coordinating with that many people. But it was us and our families. So that alone is 7 of us. And then, right, I can do math. Yeah. And then we had my parents, that's 2 more, and our husband's parents. So it was another 2. So that's 4 more, that's 11. And then my sister and my brother-in-law came. So we had 13 of us all together. And it was just, it was crazy. It was such a busy trip. It was such a great trip. It was magical in so many ways. It was stressful, but fun. And it was just a great time. So anyway, we thought today we just kind of keep things really fun and kind of reflect on our favorite moments, like she said, from the trip. So why don't we start with, how about Animal Kingdom? Because first alphabetically, really, that's the only reason. I really want to end with the Magic Kingdom. So, Animal Kingdom, I'll admit, is actually not one of my favorite parks, but for some reason on this trip, I actually really enjoyed it. And I don't know if it's just because we got to do things I'd never done before or what, but what was your favorite ride, show, experience, thing that happened at Animal Kingdom while we were there?
Well, Animal Kingdom is my favorite, and one of my, I guess it's tied between that and Magic Kingdom. But my daughter and my son, they both loved Animal Kingdom, and I know from a trip I took there previously with my husband, Animal Kingdom was one of my favorite parks at that time too. So I was excited to go back. This time around, we did different things because obviously this is the first time that my husband and I went with kids, so we did a lot of different things we didn't get to do when we went like 14 years ago. And also there's a lot of new stuff too. So by far my favorite ride in the Animal Kingdom, and probably out of the entire Disney experience, was the Avatar ride. That was amazing. Both of them were awesome. I think I don't know the exact names, like is it like a Flight of Passage or something?
Yeah. Flight of Passage is the one where you ride, and then River of Navi. Yeah. And River's Navi.
So the flying one was by far my favorite. The other one was really cool too, but I loved the flying one. It was so fun. Definitely worth standing in line for. Get your fast passes or whatever they call them these days, the GD, whatever. Get it and stand in line because it's worth it.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, the safari ride was really cool. I don't remember seeing that many animals the last time I did that, so that was really cool. And I enjoyed the Lion King show was in Animal Kingdom, I believe. Right? Yeah, so that was really fun. The kids loved that too.
Yeah.
And the Avatar ride was definitely their favorite ride of the entire park as well. So
yeah, no, I think it was one of my favorites. I'd never been on Flight of Passage. We did the Navi River ride or whatever it's called. Don't come at us. We're like trying to recall all these. We did that one when we took David the first time. So the first time we took David, he was 1.5 years. So, he didn't really grasp everything, but it was really cool to watch him. But anyway, we did that one because we knew it was just a simple boat ride. So I had done that part of Pandora, but to get to do Flight of Passage and get to do it with you guys and with my niece and nephew was really, really special. Especially knowing how much they enjoyed it. So I would agree that was definitely an outstanding must do. And I think the safari we did lug out, and I think because the time of year we went, so it was December, which was, it was cooler. right, than it's normally been when I've gone. I think that helped a lot with the animals and the sightings that we had. So definitely if you go in the winter months, like make sure you make time for it. And we went later in the morning. That's usually one of the first things we do when we get to Animal Kingdom, but we like booked it from the entrance to Pandora to get in line, which was already like an hour or something, right?
Yeah.
To get on the Flight of Passage. And we didn't do the safari until I probably went like 11 or 12, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw a ton of animals. So I think like going in the cooler months, it doesn't really matter like what time of day you do it. So that's just like a little bonus to, like, don't stress yourself out about that one. Cause yeah, I think so we got fast passes for it, or Genie, whatever it is. For what we were standing in line for the Navi River ride. So it was, yeah, it was like later in the morning. But those were definitely really, really cool this time around.
And it, not for kids, but well, I mean, maybe your kid's a thrill seeker, but um, the roller coaster, what is it, the
Expedition
Yeti?
Everest. Yeah.
That I loved. I remember that from our first trip, like being one of my favorite rides of Animal Kingdom.
Mhm.
And I wasn't sure how I was going to do because, since having kids, I'm not really
Yes.
a roller coaster or, extreme ride. So I was a little nervous, but I am so glad that Christina, you and I went and did that, because we kind of separated from our group and we went and did that because we didn't get to earlier in the day. And I'm so glad we did,
Me
because
too.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Yeah, Jonathan and Megan, so my sister and my brother-in-law, stayed with us, and we sent the kids back to the hotel because everybody was getting a little cranky. But the four of us stayed, and we had like later fast passes for Expedition Everest. So we just kind of hung out and took our time walking over to it, and it was good. I'm glad that we stayed to do that too. I would have been sad if we had missed that one, because I do enjoy. I think it's a fun time.
And if you've never been on it, it's obviously like a little bit of a roller coaster, but it's not bad.
No.
If I can do it, I think if you can tolerate a little bit of speed, you can do it.
Absolutely. All right. Is there anything else that you want to share about Animal Kingdom for now, bearing in mind that, again, like we are going to do a second episode with more specific tips and strategies, things like that. This is really just kind of like our favorite. So is there anything else that really stood out to you from Animal Kingdom?
Um, no, it was just fun because I know how much my kids love like animals in general and stuff. So they were just generally really excited about it. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it wound up being a good park. And Savannah kept asking to go back, right? Didn't she, the whole trip? Yeah. So I think if your kids are definitely into animals and into that world, then yeah, you'll have a great time there. Okay. So we did Animal Kingdom. Let's go to Hollywood Studios. I will never get used to calling it Hollywood Studios, for the record. I am so used to calling it MGM. So if I slip up, that's why forever and always it will be MGM to me. What did you love in Hollywood Studios?
I really liked the Mickey and Minnie Railroad ride that
Yeah.
we did. I think that was my favorite from there.
Mhm.
That also has Toy Story in it too. So, what was the, I don't remember the name of it though, where you shoot the aliens?
Let me shoot the
Galaxy something or
yeah,
Galaxy.
in the it's like the 3D one. Yeah. Oh God, what is the name of that? Midway Mania, I think is what that one is. The
Oh,
other one with the aliens is in Magic Kingdom. The
oh,
like where you're doing the buzz. Yeah, it's like weird.
oh, okay. Never mind. My reference point. See, it's been a month and I'm already like learning. All right, never mind. The Mickey and Minnie Railroad, definitely. I was kind of surprised at how much I liked it.
Yeah.
That one was good.
Yeah, I will say it was good. David enjoyed it. I just really miss the movie ride. I prefer the movie ride. So
Okay.
I'm one of those old school people that's like, give me back my movies. But yeah, no, that was the kids had a lot of fun there too. I mean, the kids had fun everywhere, but they had a lot of fun doing that. And we got to meet Woody and Jesse, which was awesome. So I think they all enjoyed that. And I got to see Galaxy's Edge for the first time, which was fantastic. If you are at all a Star Wars, I could have spent all day in there by myself if I had been able to. But we went straight in with my husband and I went with my sister and brother-in-law because we're the kind of Star Wars folks. We went in and we did Rise of the Resistance, and then we went back later for the Falcon ride. The name is Smuggler's Run. Sorry. I was like, it was coming. It was on the tip of my tongue. Rise of the Resistance like changed my life, and that's not exaggerating whatsoever. Like it was just mind blowing. If you are a Star Wars fan, you have to ride this ride. I don't care how long it takes to get on it. Like spend the time because it's so worth it. It is the most immersive ride I have ever been in my whole life. That's not true. The Harry Potter one was pretty close in Universal, but in Disney, it was amazing. It was just magical. I'm like still blown away. I wish I could have ridden it like twice more because it was just so much to take in. But it's so good. So that was probably my favorite part. Honestly, it might have been my favorite part of the whole trip was seeing Galaxy's Edge finally. So yeah, so if you are a Star Wars fan, make sure you make time to spend part of your day in Galaxy Edge. I mean, I didn't really even get to like look around all the shops and stuff. Like there was just, it was a hard balance between being there and then like being with my son over and Toy Story with the kids and everything. So again, we'll talk about that later, but definitely make the time to go explore that if that part of the Disney fandom is in your wheelhouse. So definitely worth it. So
Yeah. And I looked up the name. It's Toy Story Mania. It's like the Carnival themed arcade. That
yeah.
one was really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a good time. David had like a weird, do you remember that? He had like a weird breakdown before we went on it, so I didn't get to go on it this time, which is okay. I've played it before, but it was, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely a good one.
Yeah. So I didn't do the Star Wars stuff, so I had a feeling that was going to be your favorite.
Yes, it was. I should have worn my sweatshirt. I got the cutest Christmas sweatshirt. It's gonna be my favorite sweatshirt for forever. It's so big because I only had it in like the biggest size possible, but that's okay. It's all right. It's very comfortable. No, it was amazing, and I mean, I just, again, it was just so immersive. Like the land itself, like I forgot that like we were in Hollywood Studios as we're walking around. I mean, just the way it's built up, and I mean to like stand in front of the Falcon. I mean, it's amazing, the Millennium Falcon. So anyway, I could go on forever about that, but I will not because we only have so long here. All right, so we've done Animal Kingdom, we've done Hollywood Studios. What about Epcot?
I'd say Epcot was probably my least favorite, but I also spent the least amount of time there.
Yeah.
And because I have dietary restrictions and it's all kind of about food,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. But my probably my second favorite ride was in Epcot, and that was the Ratatouille ride.
Yes.
I loved it. That was so much fun. I'm so glad we got to do that. It was worth it just to go back just to do that ride in the evening.
Yeah, we split up our day in Epcot. We went in the morning. It was actually, that was like the hottest day that we had, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was.
It was so random. It was like the rest of the week we had, I mean, the weather was really nice. I won't complain. Honestly, even like the day we got rain and stuff, like it really wasn't that bad. I didn't know what to expect with the weather going in December, but that was like it was like 90 degrees and none of us were like mentally prepared for it more than anything. So we kind of broke up our day midway. We went back and like tried to regroup, and then we had fast passes, Genie Plus, whatever it's called, for the Ratatouille ride in the evening. So it was nice to go back to. I like Epcot at night because everything's lit up and the balls, all the pretty colors. So
yeah, cool. Seeing the ball lit up was really nice.
Yeah. Epcot was a weird day for me because of the heat, because it was kind of in the middle of the week, I guess. So, we everybody kind of hit that like midweek, like we're tired, we're grumpy, the heat is not helping, normal, like weird Disney fatigue. Like you get over it and like you move on with your lives. So having a, 4-year-old made the day a little different for me. I did not get to spend as much time in Epcot as I would have liked. But our kids got really into pin trading this year. My sister Megan and her husband Jonathan were really amazing and like helped the kids like teach them how it works. They got them pins. The kids loved finding all the places to do the pin trading. And one of the things I did with David during that day was kind of go through some of the countries in the World Showcase, and we did some of the pin trading. He did some of the little activities. So my favorite there wasn't necessarily the rides this year. I liked Ratatouille. It wasn't I feel like it's so funny because I mean they were great. I think I just expected something a little different than it was. So it was like, okay, that was good. But I had a great time going back for it and everything. And he loved it. We all had a good time. I think it was really cool. But to me, it wasn't so much about the rides this year in Epcot. It was just getting him, like watching him experience some of the things. And I did get some of the cookies. So that was nice, the holiday cookies. Yeah, no, I mean, we didn't get to do the new Guardians ride. So that was really, really disappointing about Epcot. Excuse me, and like Figment broke. Oh, the Nemo ride. I always love the Nemo ride. That's probably one of my favorites. And David gets so excited because he just loves Nemo. So I think that's fun. And like getting to look at the aquarium and like all of the nature like information center that they have there. I think that was just really, really fun.
I forgot that was there. That was really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the turtle show.
Crush. Yeah. Jeffrey got to talk to Crush. So Yeah, no, it was, I mean, it was good. It's definitely a park that I would have loved to spend more time in, but we just didn't this time. And I think with young kids, that's kind of the case. There's not a lot of like rides for them. Um, so yeah, I think it's kind of a good recap on
But
that.
I did enjoy. We met a lot of characters I felt in Epcot. We met Donald Duck and was it Pluto?
Yeah, I think Pluto.
So that was cool. Um, and I know Jeffrey was so excited because he had a Donald Duck hat that we got him because, I didn't buy him ears because he didn't really want any of the ears since most of them have bows. And so I was like, well, we'll find a hat you like. So we got him a Donald Duck hat and then Donald Duck signed it. And so it was really cool. He was so excited about it.
Yeah, that was a really, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a really good character interaction. We've always had a really good one there at the Mexican Pavilion and the World Showcase. This year he was outside. The last time we took David he was inside the pavilion, but both times we've had really great interactions with Donald there. The very first time, like he got on the floor with David, like it was just crazy. So definitely, and he's in his little Three Caballero outfit too. So it's really fun. David's now obsessed with the Three Caballeros, but anyway, yeah, that was good for sure too. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. That was there. Yeah, there's a lot of good characters if you just kind of look for them. And the food was good. We went during the holidays. They had the couple, I didn't really try that much of it. I know other people in our group did, but I didn't really get that much. But the one cookie I had was phenomenal. So and the lights, I like seeing the lights at night there. I think it's just so pretty all lit up. So that's Epcot, I guess. So now Magic Kingdom. So we, as a little background, we kind of did Magic Kingdom in 3 parts throughout the week. The very first night that we got there, after we checked in and settled, we went for like, I don't know what, like 2 or 3 hours maybe, if that. We kind of just spent a little bit of time there. Then we went back the next night. Gosh, I should have pulled out the spreadsheet. um we went back later for the Mickey's Christmas party, and so that was a couple hours in the evening. And then the very last day we were there, we went at park opening, which highly recommend. We went to park opening, and with the magic of my mother and her Genie Plus skills, we knocked out so much before like lunch.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, it was nuts. And I think having split it up really helped. Like it just kind of took the pressure of like how many things there were to do and what everybody wanted to do. It just kind of made it easier. So what would you say were your favorite experiences in Magic Kingdom across those 3 days?
Mm, so many good ones. I really liked, let me see here. No, I forget. The Winnie the Pooh ride,
Uh-huh.
Little Mermaid ride. Those were two of my favorites. Peter Pan. That
Mm-hmm.
was Peter Pan ride. And there's one other one that I'm forgetting. But it'll come to me eventually through this episode. There were so many good, just like cute little rides. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't. I don't remember spending that much time there the first time Jeff and I went. But granted, we were only there. We were there a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
Over the marathon weekend, and it was. I don't know. Just don't remember a lot of it. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I liked it. I think it also gave us a chance to kind of focus on what we wanted to. Like I remember we went back and did stuff that Friday morning that we had done during the party or like that first night. So it was kind of nice to be able to just focus on what we really wanted to do. We got to do Dumbo, which was really fun because I think everybody had like a really good time. We were just all in such good moods that morning, even though we were going to be leaving. Like, I think it was just that excitement of like getting things done, like being able to get on rides, like back to back to back. We were all just like, we were so also giddy. Like, it was just like such a good vibe that morning. But I had a really good time with Dumbo. I got to ride it with David and Savannah. So that was really special to like get to spend the little bit of time with them. On that little ride. I mean, it wasn't anything fancy, but just like enjoying their joy. That was really special. We took my mom to meet Cinderella. My sister and I took her to meet Cinderella, which was really, really special. Cinderella's her favorite princess. So it was cool to get to like have that little moment and pocket of time with her. And the parades, I think I loved those most of all. We were there. They were just good. They were just fun. We picked really good seats for both parades that we saw, even though my foot fell asleep the night of the Christmas party. I didn't think I was gonna be able to walk again when I got up. It was so bad. I literally was like leaning on my dad trying to walk over to Adventureland from like by the Magic Kingdom. I was like, I literally cannot feel my feet. So other than that, it was great, but we had a good time with that. Yeah, I mean, we just really focused on what the kids wanted to do there. And it's fun. It was fun to go on the Haunted Mansion with them. You know, David's
Yeah,
get that one.
that's the one I was thinking of, the Haunted Mansion. I love that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that was fun. I didn't know if I would like it or if the kids would like it, but we all ended up loving it.
Yeah. It's fun, and It's a Small World was always I was surprised how much the kids really enjoyed that one. I think we went on it 2 or 3 times altogether. So, yeah, it was really great. And then honestly, I liked the shopping best there, except for maybe in Epcot. I do like the shops in Epcot. Some of them are really cool, but that's what we spent part of Friday morning doing, was like finishing our shopping. So that I highly recommend that. If you go to the shop near the Beauty and the Beast castle, I think I don't remember what the shop is called, but it's near Gaston's Tavern. There's like a little shop there. They have tons of like art pieces and like really, really fun little souvenirs. I just really enjoyed that shop. So if you are looking for good art, actually there's a piece of artwork I wish I had bought. And I'm devastated because I cannot find it online, so I'm probably never going to get it. But it's a fun little place. So that's just a little extra recommendation there.
And the extra tip as well is Space Mountain is a roller coaster. Just throwing it out there for those of you with young kids. If they meet the height requirement, it is a roller coaster. Don't be fooled.
Yeah, that was probably the worst moment of the whole trip. I felt like the worst aunt for encouraging that to happen. We had a child ride it who did not enjoy it when all was said and done. So I felt really terrible. But we all survived. We all made it through. It was fine.
We made it. It was fun. Got me back in the teacup ride because I don't do spins very well. She got me back, so it's all good.
I forgot about that. And she was very clear that she was getting you back too. All right. Well, I think we could go on and on for hours about this trip, but are there any final like memories or moments that you want to share that really stood out about the trip overall, even if it wasn't like one of the main parks? I mean, again, we're going to talk more about this in another episode, but just anything that like really stood out is like extra magical this trip for you.
I like you said before, I really enjoyed seeing everything at night, all lit up. Seeing it at that time of year, there is something that was just extra magical about it, like the different um, ways they lit up the castle and just the different lights going on the monorail and seeing it from afar. Like it was all just, it was great. I loved the whole thing.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, and well, again, we're gonna talk about the tips, but I just think taking advantage of the park this time of year is really important. Some of the extra special things that they offer. You know, we got to meet Jack Skellington and Sally that you don't really get to do that during the year, maybe during the Halloween time, but that would make sense, wouldn't it? But like getting to take the time to do that it was just special, just like little things like that are just really cool that you don't get to experience all the time when you go. I think that was really special too. Like getting to see my son who's obsessed with Jack, like get to see him in real life was just amazing. So it was a really cool trip. It was a lot of work. We were all very tired, but it was so worth it. So
Yes, and shout out to Joan and your dad and your brother and or not your brother, your brother-in-law and sister making the trip so special for all of us because they really did so much to make it great, from planning and like the pins and all of that. Like we just had a great time.
yeah, I think it wound up being the trip that everybody needed, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm glad we got to do it. So anyway, we hope this episode was inspiring and a little magical. Just kind of fun to recap some of these moments. We'll definitely share when we share about this post online, we'll definitely share a couple of our favorite pictures, you know, from the parks. So definitely make sure you check out our Instagram to see some of those. We've already shared some of them if you follow us because we just love them so much. But yeah, we're going to talk about some tips in another episode, and we're actually going to have my mom come talk about some stuff too, because she did a lot of the logistics planning behind the trip. So we're going to bring her on and ask her some questions and see what she thinks. I just realized we should probably do an episode about Universal at some point because we didn't really touch on that in this one. So we'll talk about that because that was my first time at Universal. Was it yours? No, it wasn't yours.
That was my second time.
Okay. So we should definitely talk about that. I just realized that. So we'll do that. But we just hope that these episodes kind of inspire you, whether you're planning a trip this year or next year or thinking about a trip, that it really can be a magical experience for everybody. So hopefully you feel a little bit of that after this. So we'll talk to you next week with more Disney tips and tricks, and I just keep saying magic, but it's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth. So we'll chat with you next week.